Hi, this is Keith Larson, Control Magazine. I'm here at the Emerson Exchange Studio, and we're here to talk digital transformation with Will Goetz in the operational certainty consulting business for Emerson. Maybe you can start out by talking a little bit about what it is that you've found to be the guiding principles behind how companies can reach their digital transformation goals.
Okay. I think when companies get started, I think it's very important that they establish a business case first. Mm-hmm. That you can do a lot of experimentation, but without a business case behind it, it won't go anywhere. Yeah. So very basic. And yeah. I think the second thing is to get the stakeholders involved. Sure. And if you fail to do that, you can run into roadblocks. You can run into all kinds of obstacles that'll mm-hmm. prevent you from actually scaling something that mm-hmm. can contribute a lot of value to the enterprise. Yeah. And after that, I think it's important to create roadmaps. A roadmap for the organization that looks at all the pilots that may be going on mm-hmm. and makes sure that they are aligned and that they support each other and they don't conflict and collide. Mm-hmm. So that keeps it, organized for, eventually for growth. And I think you also got to look at, measurement along the way. How are you performing relative to attaining mm-hmm. those goals? Mm-hmm. And then also to look for low-hanging fruit, things that could be added to mm-hmm. the platform, to the roadmap that may give you easy wins and build momentum to help the program go.
Yeah, makes sense. So really, you need a vision of where you're headed as well. I liked Peter Zornio has described it as, remodel your house one day or one room at a time, but you want to have a view of where you're headed in the end.
Right.
And get everybody involved. Well, can you share a bit more then about how or what role analytics play in the digital transformation roadmap?
On the production side, I think analytics are really, really important, because you start to bring together a huge amount of data and people can be overwhelmed very quickly. Cognitive science suggests that maybe there's 4 variables that people can optimize at one time. Yeah. When you have hundreds of them coming at you, mm-hmm. it doesn't necessarily help make better decisions. And so analytics come in and simplify that decision-making process to help make mm-hmm. sense out of all that information. Mm-hmm. So absolutely critical.
So what kind of outcomes are you seeing for customers? I mean, what has digital transformation meant for the clients that you've been involved with?
It's meant a number of things over time. A couple years ago, it was about experimentation and, mm-hmm. and trying things out and toe in the water, make sure it's really going to work. Yeah. And I think we've seen statistics that show that a huge number of those experiments fail to deliver value. People don't have the business case when they start out. Mm-hmm. So, I think today that there can be many of these pilots going on in an organization. Okay. We have a customer who, reported that they had over 200 different pilots going on at one time, enough that it gets board level attention. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And so when the board sees that kind of activity, they're very concerned about, well, where's the return coming from? Sure. And so there's a move today to provide governance over the top of these digital transformation programs. Mm-hmm.
And you find that there's, and with that governance is assurance of looking at how do we make sure that the pilots we pursue are going to scale if they're proven out? Are you finding that as well?
Yeah, very much so. That the governance should also provide some standards and some approaches for moving data, storing data, infrastructure that the pilot should align to.
Okay. Great. Yep. Well, thanks so much, Will, for joining us and sharing your perspective on digital transformation and how end users get started and advance their journeys. If they want more information on Emerson's approach to digital transformation, where should they go? What's their next step?
I'd like everyone to Google Operational Certainty On-Demand Webinar, and they'll come up with a nice reference there that'll take them to an overview of Operational Certainty's roadmap development.
Okay, great. Thanks again for joining us, and until next time, this is Keith Larson, Control Magazine, signing off.